In this video, we're going to cover ACM badge design and creation. A couple quick prerequisites. You must have the AC-SW-BDGE badging application software license per appliance for badge creation and design. This badge creation license allows the appliance and any operator on the system with proper delegations to be able to do badge creation and design. You will also require a badge printer, which should be network or USB based, with the print drivers installed on the client workstation using ACM. First thing we're going to do is log into our Access Control Manager. And we're going to go to the Appliance tab under About so that we can verify that we have the correct licensing available for our system. So under the Options section, you should have an option for badge production. If you don't have this option, badge creation and badge design will not be available to you, and it's recommended that you talk to your regional sales manager or technical support to gain that license. Next thing we'll do is we'll go down here to the badge designer, once again under setup and settings, and we're going to add a badge template. We do need to name this badge template, so we're just going to create a name for this template. The default size of 204 by 323 is the size for your standard ISO or clamshell card that would be printed. So unless you're doing some sort of custom card or custom identification, the size should not need to be changed. The background color and opacity is for the canvas, so you can create a contrast on the canvas if that helps with your badge design and creation. You do also have the ability to create two-sided badges, so you can print or create information on the front side of the badge as well as the back side. For the purposes of this demonstration, we're just going to do one-sided today, but note that you can do two-sided if you'd like to. Our badge is going to contain three separate information fields. One is going to be the logo for the company. 2 is going to be a photo of the identity, and 3 is going to be the first and last name of the identity as well. Keep in mind you can add all kinds of other information and fields to your badges depending on your application, but this is a good start for anyone needing to do badge design. So the first thing we're going to add is our logo. So we're going to click on Add Graphic, and this allows me to add a photo to my canvas. So I'm going to grab my logo for my company here, and we're going to locate this up in the upper left-hand corner, and you'll see as I move this box around, the location will actually change. So move it to the center, and it changes the location based on the size of the canvas. The dimensions of this, I do want to maintain the correct sizing. So I'm going to set the aspect ratio to be maintained, and I'm also going to change my dimensions so that they fit the size of the canvas. So we're going to set this to just under the width of the canvas at 200 pixels. And because I know that my photo is less than 50 pixels high, I'm going to set that to 50. If I wanted to, I can create a border color around this if I wanted to increase the contrast for the photo or for the logo. Go ahead and click Save, and you'll now see my graphic shows up here at the top. I can adjust this if I need to, move it left or right, up, down, just to make sure that it fits in the spacing for the card itself. So the next thing we're going to add is a photo for the identity. For the purposes of my badge creation, I'm just going to take this photo and I want to centrally locate it here. If you are printing horizontal cards or cards in landscape, you can change the rotation of the photo. So I can change this to 90 degrees, and then the photo will show up 90 degrees rotated, or I can keep it in the default portrait mode. For this, I do want to create a border around my photo because I want it to actually have a contrast against the photo. So I'm going to use my company's default color code here, which is blue. Okay. And I'm going to set my border width to 2. Okay, so once I click Save, you'll see now in my preview, I have my photo, which will pull the photo from the identity, and it's got a nice blue border around it. The last thing that we're going to add to this is we're going to add the first and last name from the identity. We can do this by adding a database field or add DB field, and the field that we're going to grab is full name first last. Once again, you'll see it drops it in the top here. I will need to go in and actually change the dimensions on this because I want to make sure that if my identity has a long last name or a long first name that it actually doesn't cut it off. So I'm going to change my dimensions to, once again, 200 by just a little bit more than 16. We're going to go 32. If I wanted to change the background on this, I can make this a different color with a different font. So instead of Times New Roman, maybe let's pick Arial Black. And I do want it lined up central in the photo to the photo. So I'm going to pick my alignment as center. If I wanted my text color to be the same as my border color, I can do that as well. So we'll go in here and we'll make this 90 by 173. And now this should be in blue. And I want to change my font size a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger just to make it easier to read. So now I click save. And down here in my preview, I've got my logo, I've got my photo, and then the full name for this identity. So these are some of the basics that you can do with badge design and creation. If I wanted to, I can add additional text to this. So if lost, return to security. And I can throw this down at the bottom. Same thing, we'll change the text. Arial Black, and we'll change our text color so that everything matches. Okay. Once again, I'm going to change my dimensions a little bit so it fits in the window, and we'll save that. So now I've got my full badge design completed. The next step we're going to do is go over to our identities, and we're actually going to create these badges. So we're going to go over to identities. We're going to choose one of our identities from our system. So I'm going to go down here and pick myself. Click the badge. The badge tab. And you'll see, because this is the only badge in my system, the template was already picked for me. If I had multiple templates, I could choose which one I wanted to. I'm also associating this with a specific token number, which is another database field that you can use if you wanted to print the token number on the badge itself. But I'm also using the photo that came in from my identity. And if this were two-sided, I could use another photo for the back side. So now once I have this, I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And I'm ready to print. Now ACM is what we consider a printer agnostic. So the printer will need to be connected to the workstation that's doing the ACM badge design and printing. So once you're ready to print, you go to Create Badge. You'll get a preview of the badge design, and then you'll be able to click Print, and then you'd pick the printer for your badge designer or for your badge creation. Right now, I can pick any one of the printers in my system. So a good best practice is print your badges to just a regular local printer first, so you can see what it looks like. You can line up the badge onto that sheet of paper prior to printing on your card, just to make sure that everything lines up properly before you go ahead and print to your actual badge printer. But when you're ready to print, you click OK. This will send a print job to your printer, and you'll now have a badge ready to go.